Hi everyone. So, as promised, I said I'm going to share the journey of becoming a homeowner in Ireland. So, I have this document. This is the General Housing Loan Mortgage document. There's a whole lot of documents. To start with, it's a year today that we became a homeowner. So you can call me landlady. Yeah, so it's a year, and to be honest, I'm very, very grateful to God. I am grateful to God. It's been a very satisfying journey, like very satisfying and very peaceful. I would say peaceful in the sense that you're in your own home, like even though you're paying mortgage, but you are in your own home. Yeah. So I've been waiting for a long time to start experiencing that. So it's been a blessing to experience that. So, and I want to pray for everyone that desires the same, that you will get your own home very soon in your name by God's grace. Now, so let me just go through the journey. I might forget some things, to be honest, because it's a year now, anyways. I started this journey of home ownership in Ireland, I would say. So I moved to Ireland 2017, right? 2017. And my family joined me 2018, late 2018. So that's about a year and a half difference. So I think actively, I started thinking about home ownership 2019. 2019, of course, that's the next thing. But the idea was to just work and get some more money and all that. And, there's this 10% that you need the 10% and all that. So I think I didn't get enough information. Like, we didn't get enough information or the right information. So we were all still thinking this 10%, this 10%. And the 10%, even though you're saving, never made up. Actually, I would say that we never really had savings because the bills, it was so hard to even have savings, which I think maybe we could have done better. So again, in this video, I'm just going to be sharing some of the things that I felt like we could have done better, or some of the things that we shouldn't have done, something like that. Just so maybe somebody can learn something. So first of all, I would say the saving culture, having a saving culture is very important. Yes, even though we had savings, we were saving, but you still go into it to bring something out, go into it to take, when you have needs and all that. So kind of didn't get us really prepared as well. So the rent, I remember then we were in Dublin, then we had to move to Cantimate, Enfield, and we were paying about 1,400 for the rent then. Of course, you pay security fee now. So about 1,400 for the rent, which wasn't really too bad, averagely for a three-bed house, very, very big house. So by the end of 2019, they was okay. Now I think we should start saving, or start getting ready for a mortgage. Looking around, the costs of houses then was, oh my god, like you just say, even now it's worse now, but then it was even still very high. I was like, I don't know where we're going to get this. I've always wanted a detachable house, like standalone house, and big, or 4 bed or even 5 bed, because I wanted like a room dedicated as maybe an office for me, and then the kids can have each room like that. So wanted like 4 bed or 5 bed anyway. So but nothing happened 2019. So again, I'm just going to be picking it as we go. Saving culture was something that was very challenging for us because it was really hard to save. You find even couples, people, husband and wife or partners, working but still find it hard to save because of the bills. Yeah, so that was kind of challenging. And so 2020 was the first time we went to view a house. It was actually here in Portland as well. I think that was the first and another property. So we went to view that house. In that particular property, everything was in it, like everything was in it, including furnitures, including like the what I call it now, the essential, like the freezer, the kitchen, washing machine, everything was including furnitures. And I remember then I think it was about 325,000 euros. So for the but the thing is, it wasn't really big enough. So probably where we wanted to see it. In fact, I will see if I can still get a video. We took some pictures then, and we were saying, oh, this is the house, this is the house. We paid deposits. You pay, like, not deposit, you have deposit 5,000 deposits, so that you can keep the house before you just top up every other thing. Yeah. So one thing that was very important in this journey was the Help to Buy scheme by the Irish government. So after applying, filling, there was a lot of information. So if you go to your revenue, myrevenue.ie, you will see Help to Buy. And once you're working, either single or married, you can apply. So they will assess your income and they will be able to say, okay, this is how much that you are due. Then the maximum for the Help to Buy is 30,000, right? For the first time we applied, we didn't even get up to 15. I think it was about 14,000 something. Yes, because they will assess both salaries. If you're a couple, they will assess your salary. They will assess your debts. Maybe if you had some loans that you have taken. So, and before then, I would say that, I made some bad financial decisions, so to say, very bad financial decisions. So I was really, really indebted, loan here and there. And as a student, I took some student loan as well for my PhD. So I had loans. So by the time they look at that, it kind of affects what you get for the Help to Buy, right? I'm trying to see how I can make this video very short because I'm actually tired. Okay, so that didn't work. By the time we saw everything, the Help to Buy that came, and then we realized that, oh, before we can get this house, we will need to have more savings, and we didn't have that savings. So the bank, the mortgage consultant then just said that, no, you guys, you need to go and save up more, or you need to go and, get money, or just save up on getting more money to get your 10%, so that to augment the Help to Buy before they can even see if they can approve a bank loan. So it was the bank then, I think it was PTSB, yeah. So that was how we didn't go ahead with our house. And I had to ask for a refund for the 5,000 deposit that we paid. It was really, sad. Anyways, this was 2020, right? 2020. I was going through on my folder and I saw, all the houses that we went to see. So 2020, that was 2020. Then I think throughout 2021, nothing happened. Like, we didn't do anything for a whole year. We didn't do anything for a whole year. I didn't check because a lot of bills, a lot of expenses and all that. So we didn't even think of it, like, let's just leave it that way. Even though I knew that, it was the right thing to do. So fast forward early 2022, yeah. Then no, not early, I think it was around July 2022, the mortgage consultant just sent, it was an email or just contacted and shared one particular offer, this first home scheme, yeah, first home scheme, and say, would you have a look, like, you haven't come back since over a year, have you gotten a house, blah blah blah. I said, no, we haven't gotten a house. So okay, have a look at this first home scheme and see. I think it's a very good opportunity. So the first home scheme is an extra scheme apart from the Help to Buy by the government. I think this one is more like privately, a private scheme kind of, that will help you to pay for any deficiency that you have after the Help to Buy. So for instance, if the Help to Buy gives you 20,000 and the deposit you require for the house is 35, so the first home scheme will help you to pay the 15,000. But one thing about the first home scheme is that they have like a shared equity scheme. So they have like a percentage, I can't remember now, percentage of the house for a period of time till you pay off whatever they pay for you. So it's like, it's still like insurance, or it's still like mortgage. So I just feel like it's an extra mortgage kind of thing. So, or loan, but they will take the money back gradually. So, and once they take all their money, they will leave, then you have your house. They won't have any other share at all. So, yeah, I was like, okay, this is interesting because obviously we didn't have savings. We didn't even have, I don't even think I had up to 5,000 savings. So I was like, this is really hard. And a lot of people will just come all out, oh, big woman, you have businesses, you are this, you are that, CNM, you should have enough money, buy your house now. In fact, even some of my colleagues, some of my close colleagues that maybe we came together, we're rolling together, some of them were already in the active process of getting their own home. The first home scheme actually was very attractive. We did apply. We applied, and everything, all the documentation was done. They were happy. They approved it, and then the mortgage. We got the first AIP. Is it AIP, authorization in principle? That's the first thing you get from the bank if they have assessed all your accounts, all your financial everything. So they were going to be looking at your saving culture. They're going to be looking at the loans that you have. They're going to be looking at your credit history as well. Every transaction, that's everything, every transaction you have, they will be looking at it. For instance, if you're sending money to Nigeria, I remember then the mortgage advisor was asking this particular money on so date, what did you send it for? Where did it go? Or if any money coming to your account that is different from your salary or something that is more regular, they will question, they will ask, because they want to avoid any money laundering issue. At the same time, you can't have like a chunk deposit. So maybe saying, oh, you have a property in Nigeria and then you sold it and you now bring the money, like maybe 5,000 euro or 10,000, and just drop it there. No, that's not accepted. It has to be like a consistent saving kind of thing, not in chunk, not chunk. Money should go into your account. So if they have something like that, any disparity, they're going to question. So, and even up to the use of Revolut, or if you are using Send app or any Flutter, with all this sending money, they will check everything. So anyways, they checked all that. And again, if you're a couple, they will be looking at both couples, accounts. They say, and what they're really concerned about for the bank is your repayment ability. You see, like, okay, will this person be able to pay back the mortgage, once if we give them something like that? So they're going to look at that. So we got the AIP, the authorization in principle, the first one for a property. So the thing is, it's good to just go to Help to Buy. You can just go to Help to Buy and apply, but it's also very good to have an idea of the house you want to buy, or even know the house, know the value of the house, because the bank will be asking you as well, have you seen a house? So go and look for a house first. What's the cost of the house? If you want to pay the 5,000 deposit, that's fine, just to keep the house. And then the bank will ask you all those details, because the address, the details of that house should be on any document that they are processing for you as well. So trying to see I don't skip anything. So we got the AIP for the first property. Now I say first because there are other properties. We got that, and then the first home scheme, then we're going to use it. Applied, everything was fine. It was, I think it was just for us to finish up with the developer, like the developer of the property, and then let the bank finish up their process. Again, it's very important, you need a solicitor. So most of the conversation or the interaction between yourself and the bank, and then yourself and the developer or the property owners, will be through your solicitor. So it's the solicitor that will be bringing all this documentation, because there's a lot of documentation. Oh my God, so many documentation, like you. Sometimes you'll find documentation like this, and so the lawyer that will go through it and then come and simplify it to us, we'll meet, we'll go to the office. Sometimes it's virtual. So anyways, the first property, something happened, and I think they were taking longer. I can't remember. I think it was in Kidara. Hidara in Darrington. They were taking longer. I was like, what's happening? They were not really, yeah, they were not communicating or, returning. There was no return conversation or communication to the solicitor. So we were a bit worried. And the solicitor herself, she was worried. Yeah, she, a very lovely person. And she was like, it's very unusual for, a developer, a property solicitor not to respond. There's something wrong. So eventually it was taking too long. I was like, we don't have that time. Now this is already coming to the end of 2020, thereabouts. We don't have all the time. So what are we going to do? And so she just advised, probably you want to check elsewhere. By this time, we had already told our landlord that we are trying to buy a house. So as soon as we told the landlord, I think that was one mistake. The pressure was on. And then the next thing he came to say he increase the rent from 1,004. It was actually, first of all, things he said 2,000. We had to beg, I had to plead, and he brought it down to 1,006. Okay, so all that we felt like always was just strategy, because we already told him that we were leaving. And what he told us then was that, hey, he wanted to renovate the house, or somebody was coming there, or they are going to come back, because this person is a Nigerian, but they were in the UK based. That he was going to come back. The family were coming back to Ireland, so to say. So there was kind of pressure coming onto us. So we had to look for another property. So the second property that we saw was in Monasterevin. It was an end of terrace, 3-bed, very big. We've gone for the viewing, everything was fine. And and this is it, because we changed property, because we aborted our other property, the lawyer, you still have to pay the solicitor fee for the period that they work. So we had that, but we were ready to go through that, because of course we can't be waiting indefinitely for a property that there was no progression. So we had to start all the paperwork all over again with the bank, because they had to change the details, they had to issue another AIP and a whole lot of things. So that took another like 3 months, honestly. 3 months. By that time, the first home scheme that we wanted to use for that one, we cancelled it, because by the time we got that second property, we felt like, oh, we had enough, like our savings, and then the loan, the AIP, the value, that the bank approved, so to say, was enough. Like we're able to cover everything, so we didn't need the first home scheme any longer. So we dropped the first home scheme. So otherwise, we could have still used it. So, because why should we use it again when we could just, get it on our own, and we don't have to share any, equity or any commission or any percentage with the first home scheme. So yeah, and this was early, I think it was around February, March 2023. So everything was going well, and we were waiting for this house to be ready. All the paperwork was going on. Almost the same thing that happened. The lawyer of the property, when they were not just coming out, like, what is happening? They were not coming for, they were not really responsive. It was very slow. I remember by this time we were already under pressure. In fact, so many embarrassments, when it comes to, that's another story for another day. Like, yeah, so many issues came up with the landlord, and the time they came to us, like, we should leave, blah blah blah. So some embarrassment. So we're really, really under pressure. So the second property again went on well like that. What is happening? It was taking too long, and initially they told us by summer, by summer, that was like May, it was going to be ready. No, they said by March it was going to be ready. So by March nothing happened. April, May, nothing happened. So by May I was like, what's happening? When is the house going to be completed? They were still waiting for electricity and water and all of that. It was not even, no pipe or anything. It was no layout. And after speaking to the solicitor, she was like, I think this might be a long thing again. And your AIP, that's the authorization in principle from the bank, has a timeline. So by this time, the first one we got was already expired. So we had to do another one. We had to do another one, and that's for each one different documentation. You need letters from your employer, you need a whole lot of things that they'll be asking. Honestly, pay slip, your bank statements, if you're a couple, marriage certificate, birth certificate, so many things, so many documentation. So imagine we have to do this all over again. So by June, July, nothing. The property, nothing, no improvement, no develop, nothing, no progress. I was like, what is happening? By this time, the landlord came back and he was like, himself and his wife, that now we have to leave. They had to increase, we had to be negotiating that give us some time, give us some time. And that day, I remember when they came in that day, it was real drama. And we had to pay almost, I think, 2,000, or be 1,008 or 2,000 that day. Like, if you're still going to stay, your rent is due, it's expired, or your contract is expired, you have to leave, blah blah blah. I was like, God, this embarrassment, I don't want it to. So anyways, I just made up my mind, like, if this property will not, we have to look for another property. So that's when I told the solicitor. She said, hey, oh God. Especially the mortgage advisor did not want us to change because of the whole process, like the long process. But what are we going to do indefinitely? And then they came back and said, oh, it might take another 3 months, maybe December. Oh, I said, no, never, never. So that's how we started looking for another property. So in fact, this particular building that we're in, I had to send someone, a family friend, to help view the house, because I was working in Dublin, but the house is in Portlaoise, and you have to view, you have to be there. So I had to send somebody to view on my behalf, put video, and that day we paid the deposit, 5,000 euros. We paid the deposit. Remember, each of the property that we have bought, we have to request back our deposits. So money was just flying here and there. So again, I got some money as well. My mom helped, she supported, gave us some just to add up to it and all that. That woman, God bless her. So at the end of the day, this property that we're in Portlaoise, that was what we got. So we finished all the paperwork and the solicitor, sorry about that, the solicitor fee. So you solicitor levy or the fee, different types of names for the solicitor fee. So I'm just trying to see if I can still get the list of everything. So you'll be paying, apart from the mortgage fee, they will do, you have to get a home insurance, you have to get life insurance, that you have to get the home insurance, a life insurance, all that will be arranged by the bank, but you'll be filling different forms and different forms and different forms. And apart from that, the solicitor fee, like I said, the solicitor will stamp duty, so igba and all that. So just get prepared. And let me just get the list again. So, and then once you have that, there is what they call the local property tax. You also have to pay the local property tax, which is very important as well. So local property tax will be taken like from revenue. So that's that. So I've talked about the Help to Buy scheme, which is very good. You can avail of that. Just go to revenue and apply. They will come back to you how much that they can give to you. The maximum is 30,000. And the good news is that the Help to Buy scheme has been extended to 2029. Initially, they were going to end it. So we're like, oh my God, if we don't get it this time, or maybe we won't be able to get it. But it's been extended now to 2029. So you can avail of that. And then so I've talked about insurance, home insurance, life insurance, the local property tax, the solicitor fee. And of course, if you have to do anything in the house, it depends on the house again. If the house that we came in, it was already this thing were already installed in the kitchen, like the fridge, the washing machine, the dishwasher, the cooker, gas, and all that was already installed. So it came with the house. Some other property, it won't come with the house. They also did flooring. So we met flooring was included in the house, and even put some wardrobe. I think we had one sliding wardrobe in the master bedroom. So it was all like kind of in there. Otherwise, you also have to look out and pay, get that done. So those are kind of the other expenses that you might incur when you're trying to get the house. Apart, there are so many documentation as well that you have to do, of course. So, and I tell you, we started this one, I think it was around August, and then they told us that in 3 weeks we can move in. So we're like, oh God, that's good. But at the end of the day, after back and forth, we got the key 11th of October 2023. Yeah, it's a year today. So we got the key, and honestly, that day I was like, I have to get my key today. I drove down from office, and then I finished from Connolly office. I drove down straight down to Portlish, got the key, came in, looked around. So it's been a very gracious year, and I'm grateful to God, even though sometimes it looks like it took longer than it should be. But who is checking the time? Who is checking the time? It's only God that has the time, and God's time is the best. Yes, not the perfect, the kind of house picture I have, because this is what we got, because we're already desperate. That's another thing. We were already desperate, so we were willing to take anything. So it's a mid terrace. So, and that means you don't have a side entrance to your garden and all that. So otherwise, it's very beautiful house, and we know that the blessing of God is here. And yeah, so that's my journey to home ownership in Ireland. Happy to answer any question that you have, and I pray that, like I said, for those who desire this, that you will have yours. So today, we planted our first flower. I'm not a flower person, so I'm always very, I don't know how to do flowers. So, but according to the lady of the Holy Spirit today, we planted a flower to the two kids, one each planted flower, and that's, we are hoping for multiplication. One will become two, two will become four, four will become eight. I pray the same for you. So thank you. Bye for now.